But leading up to, that was the first time I've seen Morrell in the flesh, and I really rated him going into that fight. He didn't impress me at all in that fight, but you know, it could have been a bad performance, but he's a very good fighter.
Eddie Hearn predicts Benavidez will overpower Morrell in their upcoming fight, citing his superior strength and experience. David Benavidez makes it clear that his rivalry with Morrell is very real. He says if anyone thinks they can beat him, it becomes personal. Benavidez is taking this fight seriously and is fully focused on proving himself. Benavidez emphasizes that Morrell's trash talk only adds fuel to the fire, but it doesn't bother him. Instead, it motivates him even more to show his capabilities in the ring.
You, whoever's on your team, because that's how it is. At the end of the day, we're in a fight anyways. So for David Morrell, you know, he's talking all that shit, saying he can do that. That excels the flame even more. You know what I mean? And especially him trying to disrespect and saying shit. You know, it's definitely real. It's 100% real. I'm going in there, I'm trying to break his face. I'm not lying about that at all. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So after the fight is after the fight. Right now, you already know what time it is. It's time to go to war.
Benavidez added, when you're a fighter, bro, there's just something in you that you want to know that you're the best. You know, for me, I'm gifted with speed. You know, that's my God-given talent. I could do everything else pretty good, but the speed, that's really where it's at. Nobody at my weight class throws like that. That's what makes me different. I like throwing punches in bunches, combinations, and then you overwhelm people with pressure. They can't do nothing about that. Meanwhile, Radovoje Kalajic weighs in on the upcoming fight, stating that if Morrell stays calm in the first 6 to 8 rounds, he has a good chance of winning. He advises Morrell not to be overly aggressive, but to focus on picking his shots and moving. Kalajic expects the fight to be close, but believes Morrell can stick to his plan and secure the win.
If he could stay composed and stay calm during the first 6 to 8 rounds, because Benavidez, all he has is pressure, and he eventually will slow down. So stay composed, stay calm, pick your shots, and move, box, because he could box and move. Don't be the aggressor. I think he could pull it off.
Kalajic also reflects on Benavidez's past fights, mentioning that he's mostly faced smaller opponents. He believes Benavidez hasn't truly been tested by someone his own size until now. Kalajic isn't sure if Morrell can hurt Benavidez, but acknowledges this will be a major test for both fighters. The outcome could reveal how Benavidez handles punches from someone his size.
Well, David Benavidez, he's been fighting smaller guys his whole career. He's always the bigger guy. And then when he fought Grozdik wasn't even punching that hard. So I don't know. This will be the first test. We'll see how will Benavidez get hurt, or will he just walk Morrell down. This will be a big test for both of them. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how he reacts to punch with guys that are his size punching back, so we'll see.
In the lead up to the fight, both Benavidez and Morrell had a heated exchange, showcasing their determination. Benavidez appeared confident, stating he's ready to dominate, while Morrell fired back, making it clear he isn't backing down. The tension between them is undeniable, and both are fully prepared for what's to come.
I'm gonna retire that. I'm gonna stop saying all this.
That's it.
I'm gonna beat the shit out you.
This is actually
bullshit, bro. Bullshit. You're not
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat the shit out you. You're never gonna come back to boxing.
You can do it, bro. You can do it.
Okay,
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. I'm teaching you the really boxing. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you,
I can't wait. I want you to say that right after the fight. Right after the fight, when I got you on the floor,
I want you to say what you say right now, bro. You're not nothing.
Morrell is confident he'll win the upcoming fight, either by knockout or decision. He believes his skills and mindset will lead him to victory on February 1st, showing just how determined he is to prove himself.
Para obtener la victoria en esa pelea.
I'm 100% convinced that I'm gonna win this fight. I don't care which way I win it, if I knock him out or if it's after the final bout with the judges. I know I have all the conditions and the skill needed to come out on top on February 1st.
In an interview with Gloves Off, Morrell questioned why people call Benavidez the monster and promised a big win. He confidently stated, "I don't know why people call him that. Boom, he's falling, 100%. I promise I'll knock him out." His words further demonstrate his belief that he can take Benavidez down. Benavidez had the last word. He cut through the back and forth, saying all the talk is over, and the next time they meet, it'll be in the ring. "You'll see me in your nightmares," Benavidez warned, showing he's fully focused and ready for the challenge.
Oh yeah, everything is done. All the talking is done. I'll see you soon. And I know you see me in your nightmares. So I'll see you soon.
Morrell, you want to say something back before you go?
Amor y paz.
Eddie Hearn acknowledges that Morrell was once highly rated, but admits that he didn't impress in his most recent fight.
I thought Morrell looked really poor last time out, but I do rate him very highly. Oh, listen, I'll take my hat off to Benavidez.
Hearn clarifies that Morrell is still a talented fighter, despite his last performance not being great. Hearn seems to be offering a balanced view of the fighter's skill set.
Because, we know that's a really good fight, but the general casual fan doesn't. So it's a ballsy fight.
Hearn reflects on how Morrell's public image might have shifted following that fight, but stands by the notion that his talent is still there, and there's potential for him to perform better in the future.
And I think massive respect to him for taking it. It's a great fight. Great fight.
Who do you favor?
From what I saw last time, Benavidez.
Okay.
But leading up to, that was the first time I've seen Morrell in the flesh, and I really rated him going into that fight. He didn't impress me at all in that fight, but it could have been a bad performance, but he's a very good fighter.
In addition, Benavidez addressed past accusations against Morrell, noting that he's never been accused of using steroids and that drug testing will ensure this fight is clean. Morrell, however, dismissed the accusations, emphasizing that he's clean and that his power comes from intense training. He assured everyone that his strength would be evident in the fight.
Para obtener la victoria en esa pelea.
I'm 100% convinced that I'm gonna win this fight. I don't care which way I win it. If I knock him out or if it's after the final bout with the judges, I know I have all the conditions and the skill needed to come out on top on February 1st.
Teddy Atlas discusses the highly anticipated fight between David Morrell and David Benavidez, highlighting that both fighters are undefeated with strong amateur backgrounds. Morrell, hailing from Cuba, had an impressive and rapid rise in the professional ranks, winning a world title in just a few fights, a rare achievement in boxing.
That have the future in front of them in their career, and they're taking a risk. They're both taking a big risk. That's what, for me, that's what makes this fight so special. Their talents, their undefeated records, what's at stake, right? All of that. But that they're taking a risk when a lot of the fighters wouldn't. They'd say, no, I'm going to wait for a bigger fight. I'm going to, not a bigger fight as far as danger, but a bigger fight as far as maybe a payday or, whatever it could be.
Atlas compares Morrell's quick success to legendary figures like Roman Gonzalez and Leon Spinks, who also achieved major victories early in their careers. These examples put Morrell in an elite group of boxers with remarkable potential.
Like only a few special fighters have, guys like Lomachenko, Rigondeaux, who else? There's been a few, but a handful of guys that could win a title in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, which he did. So, hey, don't forget, I know people don't give him enough respect, but he really should get it. I can't help but say it. I like people getting respect when they should. I really do. Leon Spinks, he beat Ali. After 9 fights, whatever it was, short period of fights.
What makes this fight particularly exciting, according to Atlas, is the significant risk both fighters are taking. Rather than opting for easier, more lucrative bouts, Morrell and Benavidez are choosing to face each other in a high-stakes matchup. Their decision to take on such a tough challenge, despite uncertain rewards, is what makes this fight truly special.
So, it's two guys in there that have the future in front of them in their career, and they're taking a risk. They're both taking a big risk. That's what, for me, that's what makes this fight so special. Their talents, their undefeated records, what's at stake, right? All of that. But that they're taking a risk when a lot of the fighters wouldn't. They'd say, no, I'm going to wait for a bigger fight. I'm going to, not a bigger fight as far as danger, but a bigger fight as far as maybe a payday or, whatever it could be. But you got a guy like Morrell. Not all those kind of fighters at this stage of their career would go and take on a dangerous fight against a guy like Benavidez.
Atlas also praises Benavidez for not settling after missing out on a big fight with Canelo Alvarez. Instead of waiting for a safer opponent, Benavidez is stepping up to face Morrell, showing true courage and determination in the process.
And Benavidez, give him all the credit in the world. Like goodness, him and his father, give them credit that You know, they didn't get the Canelo fight. You know, they're right in line for the winner of Bivol and Benavidez. And what do? They just sit around and, you know, twiddle their thumbs or sit around and fight a soft touch? No, they take this. So I'm chomping at the bit. I'm really curious for that fight. It's a great fight. Really, yeah.
Jose Benavidez Jr. expressed his frustration after the intense confrontation between David Benavidez and David Morrell at the press conference in Miami, particularly criticizing Morrell for throwing the belt. He saw the act as disrespectful and questioned why Morrell didn't manage his anger in a more mature way. Benavidez Jr. argued that Morrell's actions contradicted the tough image he tries to portray, calling it a sign of poor character. He was surprised by the move, emphasizing that such behavior would negatively reflect on Morrell, especially with such a significant fight ahead.
There's been a lot of like bad blood with this build-up because of what's happened at the press conferences. Like, you as a bystander, what'd you make of what happened in Miami?
I wasn't there though, that's the thing.
Like Morrell threw the belt at him, David ducked.
I don't know why the belt. That's something you don't do. What if there would have been, you know, someone said he was a kid or something? If you don't do that, and that's how you know he's not how he says he is. He walks around like he's from the hood, like he's gangster. He's like, none of that. Why you gonna throw a belt? Why not pass the belt down to the side and go handle it? If you're really mad, if you're really about that, you know. I mean, it is what it is.
Did that type of like response surprise you, like from him?
Just made me seem like he's a.
In contrast, Paulie Malignaggi pointed out that while Canelo Alvarez controls the financial side of boxing, the real top fight in the weight class is between David Benavidez and David Morrell. Malignaggi believes both fighters have the potential to defeat Canelo, arguing that the disconnect between the financial power and true talent in the sport is frustrating. He criticized the boxing world for favoring lucrative matchups over the most competitive ones, highlighting the need for better fights.
But the biggest problem is this: all the money is in Canelo Alvarez, but the best fight is probably Benavidez versus Morrell. You know what I mean? Like the best fight in terms of the top, who are actually the top two guys in this weight class are probably Benavidez and Morrell. I think they both beat Canelo. You know, so it's funny because all the money's with Canelo, so everything revolves around Canelo, and this is why this sport is backward.
As the fight with Morrell draws closer, Benavidez is ramping up his preparations, both physically and mentally. The tension between the two has been escalating, with Benavidez determined to make a strong statement in the ring. His intense training showcases his commitment to proving he's one of the top fighters in the division, and fans are eagerly anticipating the high-stakes showdown. However, Tim Bradley believes David Morrell still lacks the experience needed to compete at the highest level, noting he wasn't impressed with Morrell's recent performance. Bradley thinks Benavidez has the upper hand, not just because of his pressure-fighting style, but also his ability to box and move when needed. He believes Morrell will struggle with Benavidez's versatility, as the former champion can adapt his style and do a little bit of everything in the ring, making him a tough challenge for Morrell.
I think Morrell still needs a little bit more seasoning, to be honest with you. I wasn't too fond of his last fight.
It's part of why I really was Benavidez. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't too fond. Benavidez can do a little bit of everything. We only see him as being a pressure type of assassin type of guy, throwing quick combinations and really, just stepping on the gas and squashing guys. But he can move and box if he wants to as well.
Elijah Vines, on the other hand, is confident David Benavidez will dominate the fight, although he respects both fighters' styles and personalities. Vines, who relates to Benavidez's boxer-puncher approach, feels that Benavidez's experience and skill will be too much for Morrell. While acknowledging Morrell's talent, Vines is confident that Benavidez will stick to his game plan, using his strength and skills to control the fight and come out on top.
I think Benavidez is I always liked Benavidez. Always liked him. So I feel like
that's because you're a boxer puncher. You love boxer punches.
Absolutely, but I don't know. I can resonate with him. Like, I like his style. I like his personality. You know what I mean? I feel like that's going to be a good fight. But I feel like Benavidez is going to dominate.
Dominate?
Dominate, yeah. So, some people might call me crazy because I had this conversation, but I don't know. I see a lot of stuff. I see a lot of things that Benavidez is going to be able to execute. with a fighter like that.
Vines doesn't think Benavidez will stop Morrell, but he expects Benavidez to win most of the rounds. While Morrell might have some success at times, Vines believes Benavidez's overall strength and skill will be too much to overcome. He predicts the fight will go the distance, with Benavidez securing a unanimous decision victory.
I don't think he's gonna stop him. I think he's gonna dominate majority of the rounds, not all the rounds, but I feel like he's gonna dominate. But it's gonna be by unanimous decision.
Caleb Plant also shared his excitement for the fight, emphasizing the significance of the matchup due to the contrasting styles of both fighters. Plant described Benavidez as very aggressive, praising his ability to combine punches effectively. In contrast, Morrell is skilled, but tends to be more crafty and less aggressive in his approach. Plant recognized that both fighters bring something unique to the table, making the fight all the more intriguing. He believes this matchup has a lot of potential and is eager to see how it plays out.
You know, their styles are different. Southpaw, right-handed, you know, one puts their punches together very well. And so does David Morrell, but he's a little more crafty. Well, he's a little more maybe passive in his approach. You know, I'll say that. And but that's a big fight, you know, that's one I'm excited for. So
Jesse Hart, however, pointed out some weaknesses in Morrell's last fight, particularly his tendency to slow down after the 9th round. Hart mentioned that Morrell becomes more vulnerable to getting hit if an opponent lands the right shot. He also raised concerns about Morrell's habits outside the ring and wondered if they might eventually affect his performance. Hart is keeping a close eye on whether Morrell has addressed these issues, believing Benavidez could exploit these weaknesses in their upcoming fight.
Dave Morrell, I'm looking at, has he grown? Can we get him? That last fight, I seen a lot of weaknesses in him, a lot of weaknesses. I'm looking at, have he grown from that fight? Did he went 12 rounds for the first time in his ever career? You know what I mean? Around a knife, I seen he start slowing down. I seen you can touch him on his. You can clip him if you get him at the right time. He slows down around about the 9th round. And David Benavidez, his living habits outside the ring, did that catch up to him? I'm watching for all that. And I'll be looking February 1st to see if my prediction is right.
Trainer Buddy McGirt acknowledged that while Morrell is a good boxer, the fight will get more interesting after a few rounds. He explained that Benavidez tends to take a little time to adjust, but once he does, his rapid combinations could create serious problems for Morrell.
I think it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I think that both guys are really going to be tested because, you know, Morrell's a good boxer. But I think that the later rounds is really going to tell. Because, you know, Benavidez, it takes him a few rounds to get going. But once he gets going and he figures out your rhythm, you got problems. Once you start letting those 20 punch combinations go, you got problems. You know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting fight.
McGirt compared the early rounds to a chess match, where both fighters will take time to figure each other out. He believes the action will really pick up after round 5, with one fighter likely cracking the other's strategy and gaining an advantage.
Morrell's gonna, you know, Morrell's got a great, a great style for, you know, a southpaw. He boxes well. He's got my man Ronnie Shields in his corner. I know Ronnie's gonna have him ready. But Benavidez always comes in ready. So it's going to be, I think after the 5th round, that's when the fight's really going to get interesting. The first 4 or 5, it's going to be more like a chess match. After the 5th round, somebody's going to have somebody figured out. And that's when it's going to get hot in the kitchen.
Leonard Ellerbay also predicted an exciting and close fight. He mentioned that both fighters could get knocked down or face dangerous moments during the bout, but expects the fight to feature plenty of back and forth action. Ellerbay is confident that fans will enjoy a thrilling, action-packed battle.
I anticipated this to be a very 50-50 kind of fight. I expected somebody's gonna hit the canvas, and it probably might be early, and the other person might get hurt in the fight. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows in this particular fight because both guys really want it bad, and want to make a big statement. It's gonna be a lot of trash talking with the build-up. So this is one of those kind of fights that the fans will actually win.
Lonnie B weighed in as well, stating that it will be a tough fight for Benavidez. He praised Morrell's Cuban style, slick movement, and ability to punch while avoiding damage. According to Lonnie B, Morrell's offensive style and elusiveness will be difficult for Benavidez to handle, making it a challenging matchup.
Tough fight. David Morrell is really good. He's really, really good. Yeah, he's good. I can't even. He's good.
You're kind of giving me a face like you don't know who wins that fight.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
Because David Morrell is big too. He's big for super middleweight too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's big. He can punch. He's slick. Real got that Cuban style. What he Cuban?
Yeah.
Like real slick.
But offensive with it.
Offensive with it. And those styles are tough for anybody to fight. For anybody to fight.
Even the Mexican monster.
Even the Mexican monster.
That's all for today, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates. Catch you in the next one.